how to make your own slaves. I'm not talking about just having kids. This is far easier, far simpler, and we've all heard about AI agents, but that's just media hype right now. They pretty much suck. They really, really suck. So if you actually want to make an AI agent, you can do that by vibe coding and using Python. I'm going to show you how I did this. I have my brother's channel, which I'm uploading to Rumble. It's 1,800 videos. It would take me forever to run. I'm going to show you how it runs at the end of the code, just to show you how quick it is. But basically, give me a second. I'll find a folder that I can let it run on. It doesn't have too many. Here's a lot of videos. So if I let this... Okay, so I'm going to go here to the bottom of my screen. And this is the file we want to upload. Normally it's going to run for every file in the folder. I'm going to change the folder path to be, what's the date of this one? 2511. So just to show you how cool it is and satisfactory. 2511. I'll click up here so you can see the code running. And I'm just going to hit run. And what it's going to do is it's going to click inside the box. It's going to paste the path. It's going to paste the video title in there. Add the category. Scroll down. Oh. Okay, well, this is something that sometimes happens. I don't know why, but sometimes No, I'm zoomed in correctly. Sometimes the upload location or the computer location can shift, and I'll show you how to update that. But I basically would hit upload, hit here, and then submit the video. I don't know. I'm going to show you how to fix that in a second, but I have to do this a lot. It's a lot of code, and the easiest way for me to do that is using Python. So I go over here, I tell Gemini, and I use Gemini. I was trying to use GPT, and the first step, this is a macro. And this is how you make macros. This is not just for Rumble, but this is how you do the process of creating the agents. And the easiest way to do that is by using what's called a macro, or keyboard and mouse movements. If you have an API, it's a little more technical, but that is faster. But not everything can be interfaced with an API. And an API is it's how code talks to the back end of websites. So basically I told it, I have a bunch of videos on my SSD card. I want to upload them. Please capture my mouse movements. And I'll show you how this process works. It outputted this code for me to run, and you need to come here, and when it tells you to install something, before I get ahead, we're going to be using PyCharm for this. If you don't know how to use PyCharm, use GPT, use YouTube, and just download the application. You don't really need to know how to code in Python. Python is really easy to learn. It just looks like this. Let's go down here to the bottom. So print, return, sleep. I mean, they're all easy words for you to understand. It's not like some weird code. Don't let it intimidate you. It's really simple to learn how to use. Maybe 5 to 10 hours max, but you could save tons of time later on. If you already know a little bit of coding, give it a shot. If you don't know any coding, still give it a shot, and it's just going to take a little bit more finagling with GPT for errors. But what I'm going to do is, if you need to install all of the packages. A package is kind of like an app. You have your default phone, and your default phone, you can use it to do some stuff, but you can also download other people's apps and take advantage of those to then increase the capabilities. So PyNumput is similar to one of those apps. I'm just going to paste it in my terminal, hit run. I already have it downloaded on my computer, so that's why it's saying requirement satisfied up here. I go back to my console. No. So this is the code that Gemini gave me. And it's just captures your keyboard movements, and I'm going to show you how to use this right now. So basically take the code, copy it, go down to PyCharm and click in here. So all I did was I clicked the project folder, move this over a little bit. I clicked the project folder, I hit new, and then I just click Python file, and it allows you to create a new Python file that you can paste the code into. I already have it created, so I'm gonna run capture, and I'm gonna show you how this works. So run capture. Now we're gonna go up to this screen, and I'm just gonna upload a video, and I'm just gonna capture all the movements. I'm gonna go here, upload the video from my computer. I want to copy the video name. I'm going to paste the video name in here. I'm going to delete this bit on the end. I'm going to click the category, hit health. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to hit upload. I'm going to click this box and this box. And then I'm going to click this box. And I don't actually want this to upload, so I'm just going to go delete it, because we already uploaded that video, but it just shows you how to do it. We're going to come back down here to the bottom, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. That code outputs. This is everything my computer did. So we basically take this, and we copy it, we paste it into Gemini, and I tell Gemini, this is what my computer did, this is the macro I want to make. The files are located at this location, and to get that file location, all I did was go here, I click the top of it, I copy that path, and then I pasted that into Gemini. We'll go left screen, and I basically told it, if I go to, let's go back down here. If I go to the bottom, click here, click copy path, this is the path of it, and that looks like this. So that's the path of the file. This is the title of the file. So I basically told it that, and told it, if I give you the path, I want you just to extract the title so that I can then paste that in the window. And then it gives me this other code. I'll take that, I'll install that into the terminal, and then I'm going to take this code, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it right down here into a new Python file. I modified that code slightly, but we're going to update this to have the correct click locations. So we'll actually go to delete testing. This one goes down. Upload. And I'll show you how this code works, but sometimes, as you saw, the click was off. I don't know why it happens, but occasionally it does. So I'm going to come here. I have the updated mouse clicks down here. So the click that was off, I pressed click, I checked HE, I hit enter. All right, this is one of the ones I want to update. So I have the code output comments, and a comment starts with a hash in Python. So I know, press enter, I scroll to the bottom. This bit, this variable, this is just the location of the click. That was off. And then these next couple were off too. So I'm going to update those. And that one was off. Just to make sure, so 10, 11 was done. I'm just going to put a D at the end of this to show me that I already uploaded that one. But I'll run you through this code just to show you how simple it actually is. So up top, it might look intimidating. This is the file path. So the next time we run it, we're going to run it over folder 12. It takes the file path. We define some variables. So we're saying folder path equals this string. Then we're going to run a function. You just need to know what a function is. It's pretty easy to learn. It's not intimidating. and I'm telling it, check to see if there's any files in there. If there are no files in there, then I'll put an error, say there's no files in that folder. Let's stop that. And one of the important things to do is add sleep delays, because my Python code can run faster than the user interface can refresh. So in order to make sure it has time to refresh, you have to add like 1 second to half-second delays in there. I'm telling it for every file in that folder. So for file name in files, I want, and then I quickly added this. It is a keyboard escape. If the code doesn't work, you can hold down the escape key and it will end the code. If you don't do that, your mouse can go back and forth, and you'll try to take control over it and like hit end, but like snap back because it's running the macro already. So the full file path is just, it's what I showed you earlier. It's just this. That's the full file path. So we're just saving that as full file path. I'm cleaning it up right here. So I'm removing everything after that symbol. And as you remember, I want everything after that to be deleted from the file name. It's going to print out the file name. So one of the important things is to know what your variables look like. And you can do that by having them print to the console. This is your console right here. And if you don't tell it to print, it won't print it. And all this is saying is click in the upload box, wait a second, paste the file path of the video. Well, copy the file path of the video to your clipboard, paste it here, hit enter, wait a second. And then we're going to click in the video title box. We're going to wait a second. We're going to copy the cleaned up title to the clipboard. And like this is what your clipboard is. It's when you copy things, they all get saved to your clipboard. We're then going to paste the cleaned up file name. We're going to wait a second. And then it's easier to use keyboard presses if you can navigate with keyboard presses. As you saw, my click location got messed up. So a keyboard press doesn't do that. Like we can go here, I can go video title, I hit tab. Oh, now I'm in video description, tab. Now I'm in category, tab again. Now I'm in second category. So tab is a lot. If you can use keyboard controls, use keyboard controls. Right here, I'm just telling it print HE. And that's all you need to type in order to get to, here we go. I'm telling it print HE, which is all you need to do in order to get to auto propagate health into that category. Like we go here, HE, hit enter. It says health and sciences. Perfect. Now it's going to wait a second. It's going to scroll down to the bottom of the page. It's going to wait a second. It's going to click upload. It's going to take us to that secondary page, and we're going to hit agree, and then submit. And then it's going to wait a second. I added in this random function right here. Sometimes you have websites like GPT or other ones. They don't like macros running on them. So if you just put a random second timer in here as a delay, it makes it seem more human. And then a nice shortcut to know is on Chrome for Windows, you need to hotkeys. As I say, if you can use a key, use a key. Because right here, Control Tab, that means go to the next tab. And when I run this code, I'll have a bunch of tabs open up. Oh, you can't see the tabs open up top. But I'll have a bunch of tabs open up top. Let's just see if I can edit this really quickly. Here we go. So instead of clicking next, because the thing you have to remember, it's going to copy your mouse move. So your mouse goes from here and it clicks this one. Well, then the next time it runs, it's going to click this one again and this one again because it's going to the same location. But if I hit Control Tab, oh, next tab, next tab, next tab, I don't have to tell it each time you run, offset the click by 20 pixels or something, because that's what you'd have to do. Let's go back to the bottom, and I'm just telling it if the code ends, print user stop the code, and we're basically just going to run this thing for the whole length. Now you can do this with Gemini, just going back and forth, if you have any errors, then it will output them right here at the bottom. You copy that, paste it into Gemini, and it's going to tell you what to do. Sometimes it's helpful to stop the code at a certain part. So if it's running in a loop, you can just type in break, and that will end the loop. You can also type in input, and you can do like hit enter to move on. So if I run this code, here a second. See, hit enter to move on. Now the code's paused. If I hit enter, it's going to continue running, but it allows me to test out little bits without it going full force and going through the whole thing. I'm just like, I want to make sure everything's working, and this is how you like debug your code. By hitting like, saying, just wait for my input. You can also say wait for my input. You can print out what the variable is by just saying like, maybe the file location, I'm getting some error with that. I'm like, okay, well, let's see what the file name is. So what is the clean title? I'm going to have it print out what the clean title looks like. And that's all you do. And it's going to print it out right down here. And I'll see, oh, maybe it's not cleaning it exactly the way I want. And I can go back to Gemini and be like, well, this is what the variable looks like. Can we update that in the code? It takes a little getting used to, but it saves you a lot of time. And the nice thing is, like this capture code I wrote, I can use this to make a bunch more macros. I don't ever have to rewrite this. This code now exists on my computer. And all these things can exist on your computer, and you can save them, and it's like a giant library of shortcuts that you make yourself. I would recommend up here just defining. So like, we'll go, and what this does, if I hit 3 quotation marks, it allows me to enter a paragraph of text in without having to go like this, and then I'd have to keep adding hashes to it. But I'll just say, to run this code, you need to have Chrome open in the top right-hand monitor. And that's an important thing to add. Like all these click locations, I have 4 screens on my display. So if I try to run this code, but I put the Rumble user interface on my left-hand screen, then it's just going to be clicking on the right-hand screen. So if you have multiple screens, you need to know where the code is being run from. If you have a single screen you're using, don't be a dumbass or a cheapskate. Go get a second screen. They're super cheap on Facebook Marketplace, and it increases your productivity so much. You can have 2 screens running really easily. Almost all computers have HDMI. If you don't have HDMI, get a USB to HDMI hub. They're pretty cheap, especially if you go used on eBay. But you need to have everything in the location. So adding a little note to yourself is important. We're going to have this run over this folder. So let's go move this code up here. We'll open this. So that one's done, that one's done. Still check that it's done. This is the code we're going to be looping over. Now, hopefully this all works, or else we're going to have to go debug it again. But this, so it's going to be going over. So I have 30 folders in this file. I have 30 videos in this file, so I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just add a couple in there for good taste. I have all these folders up here. Hopefully my computer can handle recording it and running the code. And I'm going to click on the code. And just to show you, let's move the code back down here to the bottom. I'm going to click here and I'm going to hit run. So show you the right hand screen, show you how beautiful this slave is, and run upload. Give it a second. I had that 5-second delay at the start of the video. Clicks, push the video title in, paste it, health, scrolls down, clicks upload, clicks there, boom, look at that. We're going to go to the next tab. And it's going to do this. It's going to repeatedly do this for me. I don't have to do anything. I can go cook. I can go, organize my desk. You can't touch anything on your computer while it's running. I highly recommend having a secondary laptop, just a cheap laptop. I have an old ass Chromebook old ass ThinkPad that I run a lot of code on. I downloaded all these videos to my computer via a code I wrote. That code talked to the Google API, and the API is just, right now we have code interacting with the user interface for Rumble. Rumble doesn't have an API. An API would allow my code to interact with Rumble's code so that I don't need to record any macro. I can just tell it to what I want, and it will go through and download it. So I just told Gemini I want to download all my YouTube videos from my channel. I gave it my channel URL, and I want them downloaded onto this drive. And I gave it to the drive location, and I want them organized so that the title of the video is the title when it's downloaded. I also want you to organize them by whether or not it's a short or long form video. And I also want you to group them by month. That's all I did. Very simple. Outputs a code. I run the code a couple of times. We hit some errors. I debug it. But as you can see, look at this thing running up top. And it's going to run through the whole thing, and then I'm just going to let it sit for 10 minutes, because right now, as you can see, the upload speeds are slow, because we're only going at let's see what it is. I think it's 100 kilobytes, 300 kilobytes a second, which is pretty slow, but it's just going through all the videos. I'll wait 10 minutes for it to finish uploading, and then I'll run it through the next batch of folders. And it's pretty simple. As you saw in the Python code, it's nothing too difficult. It makes sense. I'm telling it, print this, break the code if this happens. It's not like trying to type in German or anything. I'm telling it this is the file path. You just need to understand the not dialect. If you understand one code, or if you understand how to code what a function is, it's pretty easy to learn any other language. The only difficult part is understanding how the libraries work, or what we call the apps, how they work, how you call things in them, how the functions are defined, how they need you to pass in the variables. But you have GPT. GPT knows how to use all those libraries. It can tell you how to do it. So you can just say, I want this library, or I want to do this with my computer, and it will say, okay, we'll use this library. And this is a skill that you get better at with time. I've written a couple of macros. I'm pretty good at it. It took me 15 minutes to write this one, debug it, and get it working. You will get better at writing macros too. Your first one might take you 2 hours to do. But if you have something that takes a while, learning this skill is so beneficial. I got hired during college for co-op, and there's something called, if you know 3D modeling, there's something called Project PDM, Project Development Database Management. And it was the most boring stuff ever. But my company had an Excel sheet with a bunch of information and materials and other stuff. And I had to basically move information from one database to another database. And those two databases, I probably could have done something with, I don't know, I would have had to learn how to use SolidWorks, how API, which might be more difficult, but I just used a macro. and I had it running. It took me 2 days to write this macro, but I had that run for a week solid. And if you look how fast this is going, this is faster than what I could do. If I wanted to speed it up even more, I could try shortening the wait time. But as you can see, like, it needs to scroll, and when it scrolls, the page needs to refresh. If it scrolls really fast and immediately clicks, the page won't refresh, and you'll start getting errors. So it's slow is what is the saying? Slow is steady, steady is fast, or something like that. But basically, have the code running a little bit slower, and then it will just automatically run. You don't have to worry about lag or anything. But going back to my internship, it took me 2 days to write it, and I let that code run for a week solid on my computer. And I do recommend at least have it being at your desk for the first couple iterations of the code while it runs, just to make sure there are no weird errors that pop up. But I just sat there playing with my Rubik's Cube, watching Netflix on my phone, and I finished 3 months of work in a week. And then I didn't tell them I finished it, or I didn't tell them that I'd gone through the whole thing already. But I told them, yeah, I was working on it, and I'm going to keep going. In case I get bored with this, or I need some time to, like, just relax my brain from the repetitive task, is there anything else you want me working on? And then I do those projects. And I just had a blast, because I got all the boring work out of the way. As you can see, the code is done. And we'll go over here, and I'll show you what the console looks like. So, waits 4 seconds, current file name is this, successfully uploaded. Waits 4 seconds, current file name. And that's what I told it to print out. Works wonderful. I'm going to go back up to the right-hand screen over here. And as you can see, I'm just going to hit Control-Tab. Done, done, still uploading, done, still uploading, done. And I was making a fucking YouTube video while this ran. Like, look at that. That's why I love macros.